BF Emperor is now on global. I know a lot of you are quaking in your boots right now. Maybe something else is quaking on you too. I don't know. BF Emperor is a support attacker hybrid, kind of similar to that of like War God Finn and many other characters out there. He's applying a massive damage res down on the enemy if they're a human, god, or demon. He also has a really strong super art, being able to reduce his own remaining equipment CT by half and buff up everybody's equipment CT speeds by 30%. He has the position mechanic, so depending on which slot you have him in, he's getting more damage towards gods, demons, or humans, and he's also giving the team more equipment CT based on magic, support, or physical. So you'll definitely want to change him around depending on who you're fighting and stuff, which is actually really dope. It's very similar to that regular Emperor, right? Where you can kind of put him in a position where he's going to deal more damage to the boss, or if you want to prioritize his buff more, you can use that. Oh, and last thing is too, if he's unaffected by stats elements, he gives himself 7 arts per second, which by the way, yeah, his skill isn't that good. It's only 20 arc gauge and it gives him 100% paralysis and freeze res. Thankfully though, that passive kind of makes up for it, so it's okay at that point. In terms of his slots, he has a 6-star magic, a 5-star defense, 5-star physical, and 5-star support. Now, I did say 6-star magic because he does have the first 6-star true weapon on global. His 6-star true weapon is known as Rune Master. This gives you damage ups, and it also reduces the enemy's magic res, and it's a stackable magic res down on the enemy. Not to mention as well, it gives Emperor 80% damage up when equipped by him, so it's such a huge increase. Just like regular MP though, he also has another true weapon. This gives you increased light damage every time you use it, and it's a stackable buff. And the passive with this one is that you increase your own attack by 50%. To be honest, I feel like the physical item is relatively weak, and the 6-star magic is extremely strong and absolutely worth using. Which, by the way, you're going to want to use that on Emperor, and hopefully you're able to, because it is worth taking this guy to LB7. Since LB7 does give him that 5-star support slot instead of the 5-star physical, it makes him so much better in supporting the team. Absolutely worth it. By the way, from what I understand, his 6-star true weapon will not cost more rainbow gems. It should be just the standard 30 rainbow gems in the shop. So Emperor is giving you a lot. He has crazy damage ups in the kit, crazy arch shin on that true art on top of the damage res down that he's able to apply on an enemy. He's able to reduce his equipment CTs by half when you use that super art, and he has a 5-star defense slot, so he's going to be able to have 100% uptime with certain equips in the game, and not to mention he has the best artwork in the entire game with his SP art. So he's giving you a lot. But how are we going to use this power? Well, you can kind of just throw him on any team and he works. He is a type B arch shitter, and that's the main thing you kind of got to worry about with MP. Just don't use him alongside other type B arch shitters and you should be fine. But you can use this guy on literally any team in the game, and he's going to put in work thanks to the DR down, thanks to the arch shinning, also the equipment CT buffs, the reducing his own equipment CT buffs on that super art. Anywhere and everywhere you can put Emperor in. Just keep a lookout for other type B arch shitters because they won't stack with each other. Now, is there any negatives with this man Emperor? Is there really any faults that he has? And well, I say that he has I would say maybe a couple, not too many. The main thing is his skill is very, very low on the arc gauge. Thankfully, he kind of makes it up just a tiny bit with that passive giving him 7 arts per second as long as he's not afflicted by a stats element. On the one off chance that you don't fight a human, god, or demon, his true art applying the damage res down is only 60%, which is still good, but it's definitely not anything crazy at that point. You really want to have that 120% damage res down in pretty much every situation. I think another thing is too is that him having the hybrid damage, like his super art being magic, even though it is a really dope looking super art, it's I would say my favorite animation in the game. It makes team building for him a bit challenging because if you want to just throw on physical damage characters to buff up his physical damage, then of course you can do that. But if you really want to make use of his super art and make sure that hits as hard as possible, well, that's whenever it gets a little bit difficult to be like, okay, who do I kind of slot in to be able to work with both damage typings to make him as strong as possible? Of course, there's also the big one that he's a type B arch shinner. Type B arch shin is kind of like very diluted now, just like type E arch shin, but type E does have a lot of like competition, especially if you're someone who's still like running around with Haruto and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, it may be time to put him up and just go on ahead and go straight to Emperor for the rest of your life. And the final thing that I actually have somewhat of an issue with is the fact that Emperor doesn't have the stats up on his art anymore. His art only gives you the equipment CT based on what position he's in, which is okay, but like, man, we could have still had that 30% stats up on the art. I know they didn't want to like probably completely redo the unit like how he was originally, but man, it feels a bit bad for him not to have that. That's all I have to say about him. Emperor is 100% worth summoning for, and he is worth every single crystal that you have. Like I said, you kind of want to get him to LB7, which I guess is a little bit of a negative, but you want to have access to that support slot. It's just incredible. It's going to be so much better than that physical slot in team comps. Yeah, I mean, not much else to say here. The guy's broken. He's dummy good. But thank you all for coming out. It's been your boy P. Tell me down below what you guys think about Emperor. Are you guys going to be summoning for him? Are you guys going to be spending for him? Are you breaking the bank? Let me know all that type of stuff down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, have check out either one of the other videos popping on the screen right now. Great content, guarantee you love them. Oh, and one more thing before you leave, don't forget to drink water.